The greenhouse gas levels today are much greater than they've been in the last 500,000 years.
Every year that goes by, we emit more than the Earth can absorb. If we delay it, we will be headed onto a path which will lead to a destruction in the relationship between human beings and their environment.
There is a full understanding within the scientific community that we have a potential catastrophic problem if we don't act now.
We can't taste global warming pollution or smell it or feel it. We sometimes forget about it, but forgetting about it isn't going to make it go away.
We're trying to impress upon the broader public the speed with which these gases are being emitted.
We need a whole range of mechanisms to educate the public on this crisis, and the carbon counter will be a powerful way to do that. There's absolutely no going back. If we went backward, really the fate of the planet would be at risk.
We're helping do our part here in the city of New York with a carbon counter to help educate the citizens of New York and the American people. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Turn it on, Pat.
Today we launched the carbon counter. It's the first real-time forecast of carbon and other greenhouse gases being emitted into the atmosphere. It's an exciting event for New York City, and we think it's an exciting event for the climate change industry.
I think it's a terrific idea. We can't do enough to bring home to everybody in the world how important it is to worry about the build-up of carbon concentration in the atmosphere and the consequence of that on the global temperature, on sea level rises, and the effect on all the living creatures in the world.
Kevin Parker, throughout his career, has picked great mega trends, and we have an investment philosophy that riding those great mega trends will do well for our clients. One of the great trends, of course, is climate change.
The carbon counter is an ingenious idea. Reaching 500 or 600,000 people every single day.
It just concentrates the mind. Look at what's happening. We've got hundreds of metric tons of greenhouse gas concentrations measured in terms of carbon tons increasing in the atmosphere every second. So, this is something that we have to take very seriously.
It's simple in its elegance. Basically, we've got information out on the street reminding people of a problem. MIT is supplying the research to make sure the information given to the public is real, is honorable, has intellectual integrity.
It's useful to come up with a single number that encapsulates the rise of all of the greenhouse gases, because there are 40 or 50 of them that we've already recognized. So that combined number is called carbon dioxide equivalence. And that is what is being depicted in the carbon counter.
You just cannot continue pumping this stuff into the atmosphere year after year after year and not expect to have results at some point in time.
We as a world are on a very dangerous path. If we go on under business as usual, sometime around the end of this century, the world will heat up by 5 degrees centigrade.
Carbon is building up in the atmosphere. It's coming from our power plants, our automobiles, our electric generating systems. It really changes the whole dynamic of our atmospheric systems.
But we look at it as an opportunity. There's going to be lots of investment required in renewable energies, smart power grids, public transport, general infrastructure, water, agriculture. The basic heart of the economy, infrastructure of the economy is going to be affected, and that's going to generate really huge amounts of investment.
Addressing global warming is a business imperative, front and center, period. We need the right tax credits and incentives to jumpstart industries like solar industry, the wind industry, energy efficiency businesses. Congress needs to put a price on carbon, first of all. Carbon pollution has a cost, and we need to price it. That will bring down the amount of pollution. And we need to make sure that we're not setting up barriers to new business opportunities.
This is going to be very exciting. This is about growth. It's about green growth. It will be the growth story of the next 2 or 3 decades, like the railways and electricity.
That's the silver lining in this recession, that government spending may be able to kickstart a number of these industries in a way that wasn't politically possible even 1 or 2 years ago.
Governments are in the business of specifying how markets should work. That's what they should do, and then let the market participants work freely within the rules established by governments. And that's certainly what's happening all over the world.
At DB Climate Change Advisors, we're not only just researching in order to find good investment opportunities, but we genuinely believe that raising public awareness, engaging in public debate is very important. The carbon counter is the ultimate expression of that.
This was worthwhile because of the communication aspect. It's not that, the scientists need these numbers. We have them in our computers and so on, but how will the public know about them if we don't make an effort to communicate in terms that can be understood by the average person on the street who's not a scientist?
It's a great thing. Just awareness is the key.
If this clock is there, people are going to know that we need to make an impact, and we can't really focus on, emitting the same amount of greenhouse gases into our country.
If we let this thing run away, there's not going to be so much of an economy left. So let's put that right on the table, that this is about ensuring the sustainability of our basic economy.
This will provoke the creation of millions of jobs around the world and potentially hundreds of thousands of little corporations. This is going to be an exceptional investment opportunity.
Companies, in the long run, perform best when they reflect not only the wishes of their shareholders, but make sure that they're part of society and they don't do things against society.
The carbon counter will be a very powerful mechanism to show people what is happening in real time and engage them in this fight for their own future. This is the future of everyone and every creature on the planet, and we all need to solve it together.
Carbon counter is part of an essential element of educating the public that we need to do something now. We can't wait 5 years, we can't wait 10 years. The time is upon us and our generation now to accept that responsibility and act.